Bears quarterback Chase Daniel, who is the player rep for the Chicago Bears, and he joins us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Chase, man, thanks for being with us. I know this is a difficult spot for you as you're trying to make sure everybody is aware and educated. So before we get to anything else, where are you in the process of reaching out to all your teammates and letting them know what's in this deal?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, listen, it's a pretty intense and complex deal. It's not just an easy yes or no. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, obviously, for 10 years of labor peace. So I definitely have a couple group texts going. I want to reach out to all the leaders on our team. I talked to Allen Robinson over text, actually, about it. I know he's been pretty hard against it, but I think I was able to change his mind based on some things that I told him maybe that he didn't hear in the media, but is actually in the deal. So that's just an ongoing process. The NFLPA, hopefully by Monday, is going to send out fact sheets to all 1,900 players or so, and hopefully get a vote going by the end of next week.
Chase, so wondering which way did you vote, to pass this on to the rest of the players or no?
Yeah, so for me it was yes, and listen, it is. It's not an easy decision, right? Because you're thinking about everyone. You're thinking about the 1,900 players that are in the league today. Trey, you said something about 60% of the guys make league minimum. That's correct. This gives them an automatic bump in salary next year of about $100,000, and then $45,000 the next year, and then $50,000 the following year. I mean, that's $200,000 per se in the next 3 years of the deal for these minimum salary players. And when we met in March of 2019 in Key Biscayne, Florida, as a union, we really wanted to focus on these core players, right? There's a lot of talk about the upper tier players. Well, that's, maybe 10% of the league is making $5 million or more. And so as a union, we really wanted to focus on those core key players, and that really does this for us. And listen, no one wants to play 17 games. I get it. I understand it. I don't. But there's really a three-way street. It's accept this deal, which, in my opinion, is a pretty good deal. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. The other one is the owners can impose a deal on us, and the deal would be drastically worse than what we got now. Or the other one is, okay, I hear all this about a lockout. They're not going to lock us out again. We would have to strike, and as in strikes of past years, you have guys cross over lines, and it weakens our stance as a union. I personally don't think our 1,900 players can hold out a year or 2 years to get exactly what we wanted. So that, among other reasons, is why I voted yes.
And I can certainly attest to that. The 87 strike, millionaire after millionaire, broke the picket line as us $90,000 a year guys stood out there saying, what the hell is going on now? Did not end well. As we're talking to Chase Daniel, player rep for the Bears right now. Been in the league 10 years with a few other teams, so you weren't always a player rep, Chase. Sometimes you were sitting in those meetings as the player rep was talking. I'm wondering, and all I can do as far as the inner workings is go from when I was playing. When I listened in those meetings, I was pretty heavily involved, but there's no doubt some players, there's some apathy. They just kind of go with whatever the rep says. How is it today when, A, you were either sitting in those meetings or leading those meetings? Where are most of the players in really kind of trying to understand what's going on, as opposed to, hey, NFL player rep, if you think it's good, then that's good enough for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a level of hierarchy here, and it starts with Eric Winston. Obviously, Eric is, in my opinion, one of our best player rep presidents that we've had, and I've been through a few. But the reason he he gets it. He understands it. He sees both sides of the deal. And then obviously you have the EC, the executive committee, and then you have the 32 player reps, and then you have the rest of the players. So the level of sort of learning and knowing what's going on at each of those sections is different, right? So I pay attention a little bit to what the EC says, but I also have my own thoughts, and it's the same with other players. In past, the players have followed their leadership and followed their union reps. So I don't see this being any different. I know that there are a few guys out there that, with a lot of followers that are very, very against this. But in my opinion, it's a good deal, and I think players today are way more informed than any other time, because I understand and they understand that it affects them in ways that they can't even imagine. And, the big thing for us is the economics in this deal, they're really good. We got an extra 1.5% by the start of the 17 games. And, we're not exactly sure when the 17 games are going to start. 2021, I think the latest is 2022. And, yeah, it's an extra game. The health and safety risk is there. But I think the costs way outweigh the injury risk.
All right, Chase Daniel with us. So, Chase, there's a couple things I want to check back with you on here and some of the things you said. You said you talked to Allen Robinson and you think you may have convinced him because he was very negative on this. What were the key points that you explained to him that sort of maybe helped him rethink this?
Well, at first I started with the 1.5% extra in the pie, and that's we were at 47. By the time we start playing 17 games, we're going to be at 48.5%. That's an extra 1.5%. That's an extra $400 to $500 million in extra revenue split that goes to the players every single year. And in my opinion, it's by far the best in any of the four major sports. I know you're hearing this 50% number. Well, there's expenses deducted in certain ways. Every sport has accounting issues for them and how they do that. The other thing was the biggest thing for me, and I think for a lot of veteran players, was a big change in training camp rules. You go from a 3-hour practice to a 2.5-hour practice. I know that doesn't seem a lot, but when you're there every single day, the 30 minutes makes it a big deal. And by 2021, it's going to be a max of a 11-hour workday. So take, for example, us at the Bears, we start around 8 a.m. We'd have to be done by 7 p.m. And there's all sorts of limits on the days in pads, days off, etc. And what I thought was really cool is how we took care of former players with pensions.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.